I don't like it. And here's the thing, when you don't keep your word, and 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 there's always some excuse you can't keep your word. Your opinion matters though, doesn't it? You go out of your way to take advantage of communication disabilities. This lady, she was instructed to leave. Leave. I don't know her from Adam. All she ever does is talk about herself, type about herself. Makes empty promises. She didn't keep her fucking promises. Oh, I had to work a 13-hour day. Really? Really? You couldn't have messaged me when you realized that you weren't gonna keep your word yesterday afternoon? You couldn't? You were incapable? I worked 13-hour days too. I shouldn't have to be an asshole to be heard. You can't make me feel guilty for telling the truth. And you wanted to reach out to me right after Natalie disappeared. You waited until they found Natalie's body before trying to jump in there, didn't you? Of course you did. You just wanted to know who killed Natalie. You didn't give a fuck about me and haven't given a fuck about me. Your pretty words show one thing, but your actions show another. She wanted to type at me that her stuff ain't coming across my timeline, but sure the fuck it is. I show you what these web sleuths are like. They victim blame and victim shame. They pretend to care, and then they tear you down to nothing, and then they don't want it. They don't want it, do they? Misty Pollard doesn't want it posted on her timeline. Holy shit, it's not just on her timeline, it's on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook. You have a choice. A choice to talk about yourself or hear about the victim. She typed at me that I don't know shit about her. I know plenty about her because she doesn't stop fucking typing about herself. It's always about her. We have taught every woman in America to be this way towards men. We have taught every man in America to be this way towards men. Victim blaming and victim shaming, but you see, men and women do it completely different. Women type the, oh, poor me, I'm a victim. I'm a victim because you told the truth. I'm a victim because you told the truth. Whereas men, they'll say, hey man, you got to take care of it yourself, man. Hey dude, my disabilities don't allow that. And I don't even get any further than that because it already becomes an argument. Oh, you can do anything you put your mind to. Hello?
Hi, Sean, this is Lorna at Tillamook County Community Health Center. Hey, I'm just calling to confirm your appointment tomorrow with Danielle Boggs. 9:40 check-in. Does that still work for you?
Oh, she's back?
Yes, you bet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll see you tomorrow at 9:40. All right?
I'm not real happy about it. I went to you guys as mandated reporters.
Right. Are you still able to make it, though?
Yeah, I'm able to make it, but after that, I won't have the gas to go anywhere or do anything. That's why I needed help when I first got to this town.
Right. Okay. And you're checking on some other services, right?
Ma'am, the main service that I need is a mandated reporter, and every mandated reporter in this town has ignored that.
Okay. Well, I've got you scheduled. Does it still work, Sean? Do you want to cancel it for now?
Ma'am, I don't have a choice. I have to go.
Okay. Well, we'd love to see you, okay?
Yeah, it's because you make money off of me. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:40.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Bye.
Appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment. While I'm going to appointments, people are harming me in between. How far into this month or into this year are we? I still haven't gotten to turn in the shit from November of last year. Sent it to TFCC to turn it in. What the fuck do they do? So tomorrow I gotta go to an appointment at 9:40. It starts at 10. It'll end at 10:50. Then I gotta go to TFCC. See, Janelle Boggs works at TCCHC. TFCC I gotta go to tomorrow afternoon for another fucking appointment. All these people are making money off of me. All of them. They're all making money off of you. When I tell them how expensive it is, I get interrupted and say it's a free service. No, it's not. No, it's not. It keeps me stuck here being victimized in order to get services that they're not providing. I'm magically not disabled when it suits them, when it benefits them. And then I'm magically disabled when they can use it to discredit me when they've broken the law repeatedly. But sure, this crazy lady typing at me. Delusional? No. 6 years. January 5th of 2018 is when Misty Pollard wanted to type at me, tell me she wasn't just trying to be nosy. Really. All these people typing about how they're good listeners, they don't fucking listen. They don't listen. They don't try to listen. They're too busy talking about themselves. How does that help anyone? I can't go to these people without a friend or family member who fucking cares. You want to pretend I'm a bad person for posting up on the internet? You want to pretend I'm a bad person because I'm an asshole about it? I tried doing it the nice way. I tried doing it the legal way. It doesn't work without a friend or family member who cares. So be that person who actually cares, not that person who bullshits me for 6 years. Not that person who plays victim when after 6 years of hell, you get called out for being a piece of shit. You chose this. In the words of Natalie Bollinger, you chose this. You want to type at me that I can't make you feel bad for what you've done? You can't make me feel bad for telling the truth. You can't make me feel bad for you lying to me. See, here's the thing that you're not getting. If I don't do what you want right when you want it, or if I'm not able to go to an appointment on time because my car broke, because my back's fucked up, or because I have to go in alone and I have to be afraid of being victimized, because rather than somebody who is a friend or family member speaking up, these people are going to interrupt me over and over again. Same as Misty Pollard to think what to feel. Make zero attempt whatsoever to understand. Just busy telling me how to think and how to feel. See, that's the problem with people not listening. That's the problem with not having real friends. This could have all been stopped long before Natalie was fucking killed. Any one of 100 people that I went and saw to try to get help stopping this could have done something other than blow me off and cancel appointments and reschedule, or outright just ignore me for days and then treat me like shit because I'm frustrated because people are hurting me still while you're blowing me off, while you're making excuses. You don't stop to pay attention to the hell that I'm going through. You won't look at evidence. You won't listen to what I have to say. None of you will. You're too busy treating me like I'm a retard. It's inhuman to have to deal with somebody like Misty Pollard. She wants to be angry that it's posted on her timeline. No. She doesn't get to be pissed off about that. Look at how many people posted on my timeline and nobody gave a fuck. Look at how many people have harassed me for 6 years fucking straight and nobody gives a fuck. They're too busy telling me how to think and how to feel and trying to make me feel like I'm a selfish person. Trying to treat me like I'm a horrible person for needing help. Needing help. And no matter what, you always make it about you. It's always about you. It's always about you changing the subject. Talking over me, telling me how to think and how to feel. Name calling, berating. Holy shit. She's not putting nothing up on my timeline? The hell she isn't. She didn't leave like she should have. She never should have fucking sent me a goddamn thing. But you notice how she doesn't get what she wants right when she wants it. She throws a tantrum. She gets angry and berates. And then she gets angry if I do it back. Hey, you didn't keep your fucking word, lady. You're a liar. You're a liar. You want me to give you special treatment. If my words don't come together right because I'm fucking antagonized and overwhelmed, instead of you understanding, you were going to capitalize on that. To fucking harm me. To have somebody to take it out on that no one cares about. And you know nobody cares about me. Because if they did, I wouldn't have to ask you to keep your word. Somebody I don't even know. Somebody who's done nothing but fucking type over me and make empty fucking promises. It's your choice. See, people could tell that I was distraught. They could tell that something was wrong well before Natalie died. But never once did they stop to listen. They were too busy telling me what to think and what to feel. Misty Pollard, you don't stop to think how much that hurts. How much hell I go through every day, not being able to see my friends and family, not being able to take care of myself. But it doesn't matter, you're just going to talk about you and treat me like I'm a selfish person because you didn't keep your word. Treat me selfish because I speak out. I speak out openly on YouTube and Facebook because not one of you pieces of shit ever tried helping me to turn it into the fucking cops. How could you? You're busy telling me what to do, what to think, and what to feel. I have to fucking beg you to listen, and still you won't. I have to beg you to call, and still you won't. Those of you who want to complain that I recorded you and posted you up on YouTube and Facebook, that I posted our screenshots between YouTube and Facebook, those screenshots and those conversations show that I told the truth. That I told the truth. That I did try to get help. All people wanted to do is get condescending and rude and inconsiderate and belligerent and demand things of me I was incapable of. And no matter what, you are always going to selectively ignore my disabilities when it benefits you, no matter who you are. I should not have been made entertainment. And of course, Mr. Pollard trying to push me to commit suicide this morning. Outright telling me to. And then, of course, wanting to change my words into something they're not and ignoring all of the major issues for the, oh, Sean, your words didn't come together right. They're not fucking going to come together right. That's the problem. Instead of listening, you're busy telling me what to do, think, and feel. Hello.
Hi, is Sean available?
Who's this?
This is Martha with Care Oregon.
What's up?
I'm calling you. I actually got a referral from a person named Esther at Community Health. I have this weird job. I work for your insurance company, but I'm not an insurance person really. I'm kind of more a social working helper person. And she reached out because she felt like you maybe needed a little extra support and resources. And I don't have a lot more information than that. But I figured, I was able to dig up your phone number, and I thought I'd call and see how you were doing and what you thought.
I'm doing horrible.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking a lot of abuse.
Okay.
I can't defend myself. I'm autistic. Instead of people understanding that I have communication disabilities, they take advantage of them. I've been gang stalked for 6 years, ma'am. Instead of people looking at the evidence and helping me turn it in, they make me do it myself, and I'm incapable. I'm incapable, and I can't turn off my disabilities just because people want to abuse me.
Who's abusing you?
Well, ma'am, that's one of the problems. I need to talk to someone in person before I'm abused further. There's a lot of it. That's the problem, ma'am, is that I can't explain it because there's so much of it. Do you know what true crime is?
Like the show?
The shows. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
My best friend got shot in the head after her and her heroin junkie buddies threatened, harassed, and intimidated me for over a year. They drove me to commit suicide.
Gosh. When was that?
2016 to 2017.
I'm sorry, but
In 2017, she got her brains blown out. Nobody helped me. They all took advantage of my disability. Every person that I was sent to for help, rather than trying to understand my disabilities or what I was going through, wanted to send me to other people. What was your name again?
It's a weird name. It's Marika. Marika.
Is there a place that I can meet you?
So I live in Clatsop County, but maybe we can figure something. Unfortunately, this week is bananas. I apologize, Sean. It's possible that we could try for next week.
Man, these people are going to push me to suicide by next week. I have to go back to TFCC and TCCHC, plus I still have the gang stalking going on, plus I'm not liked in the town. I have no support networks, and I never have, ma'am. People have been taking advantage of me physically and financially. My disability money is being stolen from me by the day. I get told that it's my fault. Ma'am, that's the point of coming and visiting someone in person. I can't do this stuff. My disabilities prevent me from even carrying this crap that is all evidence. Ma'am, I live in a car. I am living in parking lot to parking lot, being scared from one to another, being kicked out of parking lot to a parking lot. I have nowhere to go. I have no gas. All of my disability money has been spent, and the police are not going to help me. Without a friend or family member present, none of the AIDS agencies are going to. Without a friend or family member present, I keep wasting all of my money on gas and paying for the phone and paying for insurance to run around to all of these places for them to ignore me, to talk over me, to berate me, to treat me like trash when I have a meltdown over them not shutting up.
Okay. So who are your people at TFCC? Who's your person there?
I don't have any, ma'am. None of these people are trusted. I recorded why I don't trust them. I recorded why I don't trust the police. They just sent me around in circles for 6 months, ma'am, each and every one of them making a profit off of me.
What about the county health department?
What about what?
Do you have a doctor at the county health department?
No, ma'am. And I was assaulted at the hospital here until January 28th. I can't turn it in without help. They're just going to take advantage of me, ma'am. And I can't handle that. All right, it's not okay for me to be victimized out of all of my money over and over again because police go out of their way to pretend that they're untrained and take advantage of at-risk and disabled adults to blow us off and to send us to places like TFCC, who send us back to the police, to send us to TFCC. Ma'am, this is not okay. They're playing head games and word games, and this is not okay that I have to keep on going to appointment after appointment to be taken advantage of by TFCC, by CARE, by all of these different agencies, and then I have to try to turn them into themselves because the police won't take a report about any of these places. I called suicide hotline. All they do is push people to suicide. Have you ever called suicide hotline?
I have with other people.
After 15 minutes, they no longer care. I've got over 4 hours of recordings with 988. I've got at least 2 hours of recordings with suicide hotline in the last 6 years. It's dehumanizing to force somebody to call those places to try to get help stopping abuse. Because they don't help stop abuse. They have you locked up. Then you have the mentally ill tag, and for the rest of your life, anyone can harm you, and it's your fault, called mentally ill. Ma'am, I can't keep getting put off until next week. It's been 6 years of me being put off until next week, until I'm sent to another place. I'm sent to another town. If I have the money, I have to worry about losing evidence of crimes committed against me, starting in Virginia in 2016. And nobody will look at it. Nobody will help me to go through it. And the crimes keep getting committed. I'm still at risk. I am still out here.
Yeah. So you're living in your car. How long have you been living in your car?
Since I left Chapel, but I didn't have a car most of the time I was in Chapel.
North Carolina?
No, ma'am, Chapel, Nebraska. I was in North Carolina in 2016, too, though I was cleaning up Hurricane Matthew.
So since you left Nebraska, when did you leave Nebraska?
Right after I got out of prison.
How long in time have you been living in your car?
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
This time around.
Okay. And okay, so since you got out of prison almost 2 years ago, you've been living in your car in Tillamook.
No, I haven't been living in my car in Tillamook. I've been living all over the place, ma'am. I get victimized until I move again and again and again.
Okay.
I was in Dalles, Oregon, being victimized there, the same thing. When you're a homeless, disabled male, nobody cares. This is too complicated a situation to just explain it over the phone. I take the evidence in person because my physical disabilities and my mental disabilities and my financial disabilities prevent me from doing anything for myself. But then I go to these places that are supposed to help me, and all they do is run me around in circles and send me to other places and send me to other places, all of them making money, and me wasting all of my money to go to these places over and over again while being victimized in that area without any support over and over again. I have no casework or no support work.
What could I... Well, there was someone from Esther Bradeen left me a message to ask me to reach out to you. So there was somebody who was trying to advocate and find out what's going on. Unfortunately, it's true. I'm in Clatsop County, and that does make it a little bit difficult.
Ma'am, I got a hold of her months ago. I got a hold of TCCHC months ago. I got a hold of TFCC months ago.
Okay.
I first got to Tillamook in, it was, I believe, September or October of last year.
Okay.
And people have been taking advantage of me ever since I got here.
Okay. And that's kind of a trend wherever you go.
It is. Ma'am, I'm an at-risk and disabled adult who is homeless and male. I'm not sure if you guys understand how much at risk that puts me. I have a communication disability, and most people capitalize on that. I have autism, and it's not a choice. I was born with it. But without any support, people victimize me for autistic traits and for having meltdowns from abuse. And that includes neglect. That includes sexual assault, sexual abuse. It includes physical assault and physical abuse. Ma'am, I've got years of paperwork of mandated reporters not doing their jobs, of them capitalizing on the fact that they can get finances from the government, and then they tell me that it's a free service. It's not a free service. It doesn't cost monopoly money to keep a vehicle running. It's not monopoly money that puts gas in my car. It's not monopoly money. Ma'am, I can't take care of myself. Now I'm getting my disability money taken away because I can't take care of myself. I can't do the paperwork alone. I keep running around in circles and be talked over like I'm not a person by all of these services who are supposed to understand us. And then they want to play victim. When I have a meltdown over being yelled at, over being screamed at, over being stuck in public, I have to talk about rape and murder in public, ma'am. I have to carry my backpack with my injuries. I have to carry it in and out of buildings that I can't do that. I can't clean out my car, ma'am. I'm living in a friggin' pool of crap. And none of these services that are supposed to help me bother to take a look at that or acknowledge what it's from or why. They just want to talk over me and tell me what to do and what to say and schedule me for an appointment in a week or a month or a year. I am afraid of cops because I have to be. 96% of those killed by cops are men. 61% of those killed by cops last year were homeless. 51% of those killed by cops last year were disabled. And the reason that it happens is because all of these mandated reporters that were sent to, every single one of them refuses to do their job. All they want to do is commit Medicare and Medicaid fraud. Do you know how frustrating it is that I have to go back and talk to Danelle Boggs tomorrow at TCCHC, knowing that they're committing Medicare and Medicaid fraud and taking advantage of an at-risk adult for monetary gain?
Who's Danelle Boggs?
Danelle Boggs, that's Dr. Danelle Boggs. She works for TCCHC.
Okay, so that was what I was saying. When do you have a provider that you see there? You see Danelle Boggs?
She's not a provider. I've only seen her once. And she didn't.
Not a doctor?
She is a doctor, but she didn't pay attention to what I was saying. I've only seen her once.
She has the job of being a provider to people? That's all I'm asking. Is that correct? Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay.
But she didn't do anything about the mandated reporter thing at all.
What were you hoping she would do? Were you able to identify a specific request for her?
Yes, I was. I let them all know that I needed a mandated reporter to help turn crimes in against me. And Instead, she just kept on redirecting it over and over again, redirecting it. That's what they do. Instead of doing their jobs to help me turn in the crimes committed against me, they take advantage of me and commit crimes against me. Do what?
So, helping you turn in, I'm trying to understand the language that you're using and what it means.
Ma'am, I'm speaking English. I'm speaking English. What are predators? I'm trying to find my paperwork now because, ma'am, obviously I have to read off the paperwork to you so that you understand that I'm following the instructions that I've been given, all right, over and over again. When you're an at-risk and disabled adult, you're supposed to go to a friend or family member and try to turn it in right away, but I've never been able to do that. Instead, I have to beg people to care.
Because when you go to the doctors, they say, or to the police, they won't receive you if you don't have them. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Ma'am, I'm stuck in public. This is why meeting somebody in person,
where
I'm not overwhelmed and I'm an autistic person in this state, right? So let me do it, please. All these extraneous noises while I'm in a this prevent me from being able to think. Medications will never fix that, they never have. What fixes that is a safe environment. For it to be a safe environment, I have to be able to trust the people in that environment. And I can't trust people in that environment if they just talk over me. When people talk over me, it derails the train, so to speak. And the thing is that every single one of you are supposed to be trained in how to respond to a person who's in crisis, and it's inappropriate the way people respond. I would like to do more than just generalize, but there's a lot of names and a lot of crimes to turn in, a lot of them.
Okay. Well,
if I have the evidence in front of me, which would be easy to do if I hadn't had everything taken away from me, because mandated reporters repeatedly just wanted to capitalize on it and take my money. Explained to every mandated reporter I've been to since before Natalie was killed that I needed help because people were harming me. And I try to explain what harm, and I keep getting interrupted to be told, well, are you sure you're not perceiving it right? Have you ever had to go to a police officer and explain that you've been raped, and they ask you, oh, well, are you sure you didn't ask for it maybe just a little bit? It's horrible. It's horrible. Just the number of people that I had to call in the last 3 days. Over 60 phone calls. But you know what? I've had over 250 phone calls from restricted numbers harassing me. Instead of people understanding that I can't handle this, they tell me, oh, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to go here, you need to drive there, you need to go here, you need to go there. Have you thought about leaving town? Have you thought about moving somewhere else? I don't have a support network, ma'am. None of these people are being supportive. Pretty words aren't supportive. When someone's being abused, telling them they just need to love themselves doesn't work. That's what I get out of my so-called friends and family. They don't try to understand my disabilities, but they sure know how to capitalize on them. Every one of them. And all of these mandated reporters who know that I'm going to them about abuse, and they're just trying to skate the system for free money. They don't understand the hell that I have to live in because of it. The abuse that I endure every single day because of it. That includes the fact that I am stuck in my car during the winter, during the summer, and I still can't take care of myself. I can't keep digging through my paperwork. I'm not supposed to lift more than 10 pounds. I have to worry about tweakers stealing my things. I have to worry about people in town who hate me because of things that were not my choice. I didn't choose to get stranded here or stuck here. I didn't choose to meet people to disrespect me or to lie to me or to harm me. I didn't ask for people's bias to be used against me and to harm me. And these police and every one of these mandated reporters hold that bias. And all of these mandated reporters are friends with the other mandated reporters I'm trying to turn in. It's a conflict of interest for me to try to turn anything in this county, and I have spent all of my money for the last 6 months jumping through every hoop that they tell me to do. plus all the things that it takes to maintain that, while still being victimized on the streets because I still have no friend or family member to help me to do this. No friend or family member to help me with the evidence. I've been ostracized, criticized, abused, had my life threatened, been physically assaulted over and over again since I got here to Tillamook. Same thing in the Dalles, Oregon. Same thing in Hood River, Oregon. Natalie Bollinger's death, people want to play downplay the actions of it. They also want to downplay the gang stalking that happened beforehand. And everybody wants to tell me, hey, you know what, jurisdiction. No, jurisdiction does not matter when it's the other way around. They're allowed to slander my name over and over and over again, and nobody has any remorse or response to that, except I'm saying that happened to you. Come back next week. When I'm sent to a mandated reporter, it is never okay for them to ask for my Medicare or Medicaid card. They're mandated reporters. I'm going to them as mandated reporters. For them to put me in therapy just over me, and that's what Danelle Boggs did. I recorded that. It's live on my YouTube channel. I also recorded Miss Bradine also doing the same thing. And then setting me up for another appointment as far out as possible. And I go to these appointments. That's what has been going on. I've been going to appointment after appointment for them to get my Medicare and Medicaid money and try to talk me out of turning in my predators, including the local police and these other agencies. And then they try to send me to these other agencies, knowing that these other agencies are doing exactly the same thing. I've also got hundreds of people recorded in this town talking about it, telling me that the reason they won't go in is because they're afraid. Because these people won't do their jobs. That includes CARE, the organization you work for.
I don't.
And with all these names that I have to remember.
I don't work for CARE. I work for CARE Oregon, which is your insurance, which is your Medicaid.
See, I took something wrong because I didn't understand. She corrected me. Ma'am, I was assaulted January 28th at the hospital. The hospital claimed that somebody else paid the bill.
That somebody else paid the bill?
Yeah, I've got recordings having to call the billing office by myself. There was a lady named Vicky Rain who made the calls with me, but she's got some pretty severe mental problems. The problem is that I have to depend on her. I can't depend on her. She did some really horrible stuff because of her mental problems.
Okay, so sorry, you had to call, somebody paid your bill at the hospital, you were calling to complain?
I was, but see, I didn't need to call the hospital to complain. I needed her to call the police with me and help turn it in.
Because you wanted to have paid the bill yourself and not have...
No, ma'am, please stop inferring. What I'm trying to explain to you, this will be a lot easier if you don't interrupt and ask questions. That's one of the problems.
I'm going to let you go because, unfortunately, I have the sense that I may not have the time that you're needing to tell your whole story right now. And in order to clarify and understand, I need to ask questions.
Ma'am, I understand you need to ask questions, but also I need you to understand what I've explained to you about. Please listen. God damn it, please listen, please. I told you it's an easy train to derail. A very easy train to derail. She was trying to redirect and deflect to the insurance thing, and it just... That's why it becomes so confusing to you. Because instead of letting me tell my story, You want to ask questions that are all over the place. Or questions that you gotta let me have more than a second answer because it's that complicated. It's also an autistic trait that they all exploit. That's why I need to have an autism advocate. But then I'm told I gotta go to Portland for an autism advocate. All these folks who want to be mad at me for recording with them and posting them up on YouTube and Facebook publicly. They're here for a reason. If they were friends, what did they do to find out what was going on? See, they're allowed to get frustrated with me. I'm just trying to get heard. But the more you interrupt me and derail the train, the worse my communication difficulties become. The worse they become, the more you capitalize that and become highly predatory. When someone starts showing signs that they're afraid, the first thing you do is pounce. Go out of your way to pretend everything that they say is something other than what you're saying. Or they talk over you to change the subject, showing what you're going through is not important to them. They don't care. They don't fucking care what happened to you. I get that she's not going to have the time. I get that. That's an easy win for her. It's an easy win for all of you when it comes to a disabled adult who's being harmed. You don't have the time to care. Do you care if your uncle with dementia is in a nursing home, being drugged into oblivion? Your grandma in the same nursing home, being raped by the nursing staff, but you never check in on them. You don't want to go see your uncle because it hurts you because he doesn't remember you. You tell yourself you're too busy, you're too busy, you're too busy, you're too busy, and then it's time to go to grandma's funeral or your uncle's funeral. When they were being abused, if you'd have cared, if you'd not made grandma feel bad by when she calls, if she's allowed to call, if they let her call. And they probably won't. They'll probably tell you grandma didn't want to talk to you. Police and medical staff need to be required to step up into the new age and be held accountable by being required to have both audio and video cameras on them at all times. If they make a big mistake, it's a really big mistake. And if they make a small error, it can change someone's entire life and result in them being victimized for the rest of their lives. These people keep deflecting and deferring. See, it's important to hear all of it. It's important to know why I am homeless. Not just what I did, but why I had to do that. You tell me I should have done it in a different way. I should have done it more appropriately. I did do it more appropriately. Everyone blew me off. You didn't listen until I screamed, until I chastised you publicly. Some of you on your own timelines. Some of them I just tagged you from mine. It's an easy train to derail. A very easy train to derail. That's why someone needs to listen to understand to begin with. Listen to my disabilities and take them to heart in your decision making. But first you have to hear it. It's not about your questions. You need to learn about my disabilities first. My living conditions first. Understand that those are problems that I have. Never mind why they happened. If you don't want to get into all of that, mind the fact that I'm living in this, that I'm scared of everyone and stuck in public, that everything that I did in Chapel, Nebraska to be a recluse and never have to leave my apartment, I didn't have the help that I needed. The people who were supposed to help me with that were not there. Megan Missigatis was running blind through nearly all of it. It wasn't fair to her. It's also not fair to me that I had to accept that help. She was all the way in Lincoln. That allowed Scott DeCosta a lot of cushion as far as the courts go. Except that he did so across multiple jurisdictions, slandering me everywhere I went. The very officer who assaulted me, Scott DeCosta, got to make all the decisions and pull all the shots. He's gotten to do this since 2017. His deputies screwed up in 2017. Bad. Real bad. It was an important call. I tried to do the right thing. I was afraid for Danica Garner when I was Candace Bondurant's, and you see that I got punished by Candace for that. Punished. Then Ted Bollinger, when I was at my grandma's funeral, giving me every reason to be afraid of what he had done to his daughter, and for good reason, but no, you won't allow me a safe place. It's all about your questions. I need you to listen to the details. They just happen. They're fresh in my mind. I need you to listen. I don't want to have to do it on YouTube and Facebook. I have to have someone I trust so that I can stop using Facebook and YouTube. I tried doing it the right way to begin with, but all you understand is abuse. You show that by being abusive to the victims, not understanding that they're in a state of crisis and they're scared. The more scared they are, the worse their communication is going to be. And you hold that against them. You hold that against them. I need you to listen. I need you to learn something about me. other than just what happened to me. You need to know something about me. My disability is not just your assumptions. That's why the evidence is important. That's why an advocate's important. I don't have a voice because you get to see how easy I am to talk over, how easily I am stressed out by my environment. I do desperate things because I need help, not to be an asshole. When I have to be an asshole, it's because it's the only thing you fucking respond to. You have taught me to be this way by being entirely non-responsive except for pretty words and false promises. And then ignoring me because you assumed instead of listening to the victim. Please listen. Understand I am overwhelmed. I am overwhelmed. It's easier to explain the less you interrupt. The more you interrupt, the more it is going to become a situation where I cannot trust you. But I am trying my best to communicate, and it will not come out right. I guarantee you it will not come out right. It will come out as frustration because I am frustrated because you're not listening. And it starts off with that disrespect of showing the victim that they can't trust you to listen. They can't even trust you to hear their words without argument. There's a time for questions. We're supposed to go to a friend or family member when we're like this because a friend or family member would care. I mean, I went to so many people about the problem with Natalie. I posted up so often about the problem with Natalie. I took the blame for everything at the beginning, hoping that would put a stop to it, and it didn't.